Hello, I think we're live. Let me just pause that. Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. It's been a while. We are at Chang International Circuit today for some more racing action, and obviously last week we had the Altezas at Laguna Seca, so this is a very different kettle of fish here. But as our drivers start to set laps, that was a terrible voice crack, we get to see some interesting action today. As Aviation Gaming in chat says, good luck everyone and enjoy. Absolutely, that's what this is all about. Let me know if you can hear me properly. And of course, does the stream look okay? To me it looks fine, but it's whatever. So again, we go racing at Chang in the Toyota CHR SP3 class of Thailand. Definitely an interesting car and track combo. And yeah, as we... Oh my goodness, what is going on? What is going on outside turn 1? Supernova going backwards in the pit lane. Oh my god, what is going on? Let's have a look here. It seems like they're having a car meet outside of turn 1. We have half of the grid here. Ah, hello Noah, welcome. Yep, we seem to have half of the grid in having a car meet outside of turn 1. This is interesting. I've never seen this before. They're playing bumper cars by the looks of it, though. Well, this is certainly interesting. A car meet and bumper cars outside of turn 1. 12 minutes ago of practice anyway. Let's see on how our drivers are doing, apart from being outside of the track. Let's see, as Didier Durant is back for another week of racing. Seems he has stopped outside the track and has gone back to the pits. Let's see, Richard Glez here. He is a returning driver, so we had him last week in the Altezas. He did an excellent job, but was unfortunately unable to make it to the top 10, I believe. However, he has an opportunity today where 22 drivers on the grid. It doesn't seem like having enough bandwidth to be able to keep streaming here, so let's give that a minute to sort itself out. Dante Spapen sets a 148.493, which is 3/10 faster than Weebick. Weebick usually is the safety car in ACSL, I believe, the bigger league compared to this. Give it a minute, it will sort itself out. Apologies for that. Just having a quick look here. It should be fine. I think it's just a bit rate drop. Anyway, stream still looks fine. They're doing a lap outside the track apparently. Darren and his crew. Dante Spapen with the Momosume livery. He's driving the today, and you know, it's definitely something different compared to last time. I don't know what he drove last time. I don't think he participated in the Altezza race, but he participates today with the new Momosume livery. Interesting choice of Uma. He's got the on the side of his car. So yeah, definitely an interesting one from him, as he still has the fastest lap. Let's check on Darren and his crew. Ah, Jay. Welcome back, Jay. Let's have a look. Let's see if they're doing how they're doing without those laps are you know, off the track. Nine minutes and 30 seconds to go left of practice. Perfect time to check on how they're doing. I don't know where they are. Doesn't exactly tell me. I might, yeah, let me get a track map up, so you guys can see what's going on.
Not active.
So Dante's Prepen's gone back to the pits. Where's a good place for this? There. Sounds good. Let's see. So we have plenty more people joining now. One sec, let me just turn down this down a little bit. Should be okay though. Let me know if the quality is good. I'm sure it's better than last time. Dante's Prepen, I'm unsure of what he's doing, to be honest. Leaving the pit lane, going quite slow. 10 views in the stream, I believe, so we're doing quite good. Yeah. Richard Glass at 148.9. So half a second off Dante's Prepen and Tweebeck, but he's actually 300th of a second off Weebeck, which is quite interesting. He might have a very good chance of getting a decent lap time today. These cars, there's quite a bit of margin for error. You've got the understeering of the car, followed by the, obviously you've got like the part of the track. There's some parts of the track that are quite bumpy, let's say, and obviously that can impact, as well as going too much on the curbs can definitely impact your lap time.
Not active.
Which means that, you could lose a few tenths just by making a simple mistake, and those are very crucial, especially in slower cars like these ones, where you've got multiple cars on the track at once, everyone's trying to set a lap, and then you've got, impeding all the time, and it gets a little bit difficult sometimes. So these drivers have to make sure that they're on their top game, especially when it comes to qualifying. They need to think it out, where of the track there's going to be less drivers and what time they should leave the pits. Leaving pits instantly is going to, present you with a big wall of people. So let's have a look on how some of our other drivers are doing. Richard Glez in the blue CHR. .150.1. Hello, Mario. I'm assuming that you're Mario Nikolai that's in the game at the moment. Welcome to the stream. Oh, just under 6 minutes. Let's see. So Dante's Prepen seems to be having a little bit of a battle with, let's see who that is. Hitcham there. Apologies. A bit of a cough at the moment, so if I do mute all of a sudden. Darren, I'm going to come to you in a second. I'm just going to watch Dante for a little bit longer as he fights with Hitcham in practice. Not anymore by the looks of it. Now let's see who's on T1. Oh, T1, so this is T1 here. Let's see. As Dante's Prepen comes out in T1. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to set any better lap times than he already has. Right. Let's see. Darren wanted me to spectate them at turn 1. End of turn... Oh. Where are they going? Oh. Well, there's Supernova. There seems to be a drag strip as well, which is quite interesting. Well, they seem to be going up the side of here. Yep, all in a big train. Well, this is certainly... With Aiden Malaskic under the map, what is going on? Yeah, I'm gonna try not, you know, focus on them for too long. Let's go back to some of our drivers who are actually setting laps. Let's see, Guillermo Saro. New driver here in OAC. Unsure of how many races he's going to be participating in from now in the future. Aiden Malaskic, I know I saw you found a tunnel under the map. I was wondering why you were under the map. Let's see, Gimasara, can he set a better lap? No, I think he invalidated there. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So, Didier Duran was invalidated. Let's see if he can get a better lap now. With 3 minutes after practice, you know, they're going to be there. Maybe last or first to last, sorry, second to last lap before qualifying. And, you know, for some people this might be crucial because some people need to practice their braking zones or whatever. And now is the time to do so. And obviously experimenting the last few minutes of practice is always very important. Especially when it comes to, you know, getting every millisecond or whatever. And being able to constantly repeat that. That's what racing's about. And obviously, some of our drivers are able to do that today with them being Duns, Papen, Wiebig, and Richard Glass all within a second of each other. Oh, and Guillaume and Wellerman. Okay, so Guillaume Musara and Wellerman seem to have 2,000. Well, that's milliseconds between them, which obviously. Let's see, though. So Mario Nicolai is back. Matthias Coco, he's setting a new lap, I think. Oh, NS G-Men has set a new lap. So he's a new. No, he was here last time. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Roberto Tutti, he's a new one as well. I'm unsure if he's participated in OAC before. There seems to be having a little car meet going on outside of the first corner. Anything but practicing. How do you go off there? Mario Nicolai has gone off a little bit, leaving the pit lane, but you know, nothing too crazy. So Dante Spapen's still on top. So we'll see if he can actually set a better time today. And remember, we have one race next week at Dragon Trail Raceway, the fictional racetrack from Gran Turismo 7. And we'll be racing NSX GT300s on there, so don't forget to miss that as well. And I'll put a link to join the server, if you're not in the server already, in the YouTube's chat, and I'm going to pin it as well to make sure you can join and participate in some future races. So here you are. So that'll be there for the rest of the stream. As we see some of our drivers, most drivers being in the 150 range. So we have Jay in the 150 range, Didier Duran in the 150 range, and Matthias Coco in... Oh, and also Roberto Tutti, which is stopped on the track for some reason. Just give me 1 second, I'll be right back. As practice finishes, so I'll leave you. Yeah, well, I just need to go get some water. Apologies for that, folks. I'm back. Hope I didn't take too long. Darren's, are they still messing about, I think? Probably. Right, I'm back. A little bit more hydrated than before. A couple of drivers come to set their last lap before qualifying starts. NS2 man George Given. George Given committing doing Mercedes kind of moves there. Adrian Malaskic, we've seen him quite a while ago. See what Darren, I think they are, yes they are. Okay, so, qualifying's about to start.
RP, app not active.
So we appear to have all of the drivers that were meant to turn up on the grid, which is excellent. I just have to wait 40 seconds. Okay, well, I mean, while we do that, we could sort of peek at some liveries. So we have some interesting ones. We've got the and we've got this, whatever this is. It's a 67 piss. Is that what it says on the side? Okay. Okay. What an interesting thing to put on the hood. Yeah, I saw lots of people having fun. They were just
Good luck, guys.
Having a bit of fun outside of the track when they were meant to be practicing. Okay, so qualifying started. Apologies, I'm not having a great time. My throat is playing up a little bit, but we continue. Oh, I was doing this last week as well. I sound like I'm heavily constipated anyway. Now is not the time. Our first set of drivers coming down the big straight. Etchem Pozo, Dante Spapen, Guillaume Misaro, Ryan Cole, Weebick, NSG Met, and George Given. And then Darren, followed by Matthias Coco. Richard Glares, Mario Nicolai, Roberto Tutti, Supernova, Radu Alex, Hayden Malaskic, and Jay. So Jay's waiting a little bit. Jay's playing it smart. Jay's waiting until, you know, most of the grid have already set another lap. So he's giving them enough time to get going. And obviously, you know, let them go so he has enough time to, you know, not encounter with one of them. Apologies for that. Custom Shaders patch is on. Roberto Tutti, Radu Alex, Aiden Malaskic coming across the line. Yellow flag. I think one of them went a bit too wide. Is that Roberto? Yes, it is. Taking a couple of screenshots by accident. Who else do we have coming down the big straight at the moment? Most of the grid, actually. Waiting for one of them to set a valid lap so I can spectate them. Here comes Weebick and Hitchum. Let's see. There's Dante's Papen. And his car. So he's slowing down on the straight for some reason. I don't know what's going on there, but here we go. Some drivers already coming across the line. They're putting their laps. Here we are. Fast set of cars. Yep, so we have Aiden with a 148.9, which puts him at the top. Not sure how long for, but he is at the top. So this should be interesting. Someone stopped on the big straight. Not sure of who that is. So Jay is at 150.2. NSG Man set at 150.4. So Aiden's severely lacking behind on this lap. If he wants to be that time, he's going to have a miracle happen. Definitely not an easy thing to get, a 148.9. Just above 9 minutes of qualifying left. George Given sets a 149.9. He puts him a little bit ahead of Jay in third position. Richard Glass with a 149.65. What happened there? So Weebick set a lap with a 149.8. Dante's Perfect with a 148.0, which puts him way ahead in first. So, Dante's Papen ahead with a 148.0. Try my best to talk. I'm having not a great time. I keep coughing, but I'm going to try my best to commentate for you guys, and the race starts, the most important. So Aidan Malasgit seems to be fighting against Hitchum again. Oh no, it's Dante before, my apologies. So Hitchum's trying to get an advantage on the straight, I think. They're trying to hopefully get a better lap time. Weebick with a 148.667. Unfortunately not good enough to overpass Dante. Aiden has a little bit of understeer. I say a little bit. Goes wide. Battles a little bit with Hitchum as Hitchum goes up the inside. Again, most of our drivers were the 150. Certainly not a huge margin between them all. As there's just under 5 minutes left before the race goes underway. Aiden rejoins the track. I believe he was just waiting so Hitchum would get a little bit further ahead so he wouldn't have to deal with him later on. Okay. Aiden Malaskic. He hasn't got many people in front of him or behind him. Over a second, actually no, a little bit under a second between Richard Glez and Aiden Malaskic. Let's see how our current fastest lap is going on. Dante's Pepen in the Hachimi car. Let's see how he's doing. What is going on there? Dante's Pepen letting him go, I think. So 3 minutes left of qualifying. Should be 2 laps for everyone. Apologies, I think the stream dropped out a little bit there. Dante's Pepen still leading by over half a second. Untouchable. Weebick, that's second place. Let's see how Jay is doing with an 8-minute lap. Wellerman with a 1:49.4 puts him up into 4th, bumps Richard Gless up into 5th. She's at George Given had a little bit of trouble this time round. Jay setting new lap, putting him up into 6th, sorry. George Given up into 7th. So most of the field, it seems that they've set 149s. One minute left to qualifying. Should probably be their last lap before the race. Wellerman with that Storm Tracer livery, he had one last week with the Altezza. Excellent job of that though. I like the black and orange. But for the most part, most of our drivers seem done. Weebick's last lap. Oh yeah, there is a pothole somewhere. People keep hitting it apparently, and it's causing their car to fly into the air. So, Wellerman's still trying to set a good lap. Frame rate wise, the stream seems to be okay. I've been having severe issues with Wi-Fi in the past. So, Wellerman's a little bit behind on his lap. He needs a miracle to happen now. Dormas Federas setting his first lap, as well as Radu Alex. A couple of seconds off pace, but Not an issue at all. Hitchum, sorry. 151.4. Seems he's struggling a little bit with these cars, as they're not everyone's cup of tea. But I shall join you back on the grid. You join me back on the grid with 45 seconds remaining before we get underway. Put myself back into the pit so we don't have any issues. Okay. This is Chang. You join me.
Good luck.
As the lights are about to go out. Quite a few cars on the grid, very colourful grid today.
Good luck, guys.
Few pink cars. But yeah. So I have to say.
TE pothole.
Here we go. Here the lights go. And lights out, and away we go at Chang International Circuit at the Toyota CHR. Dante's Papen still in first as he goes for the inside line down into the first corner. Weebick on his tail, Aiden Malaskic, Wellerman. Let's see how this fight escalates. We've got Weebick on his left-hand side, going up the big straight, with Aiden Malaskic right behind him, Wellerman following behind him, as Dante's keeping it in first. Let's see how long he can keep it in first for. Goes round into the third corner, out of the second corner. Let's see. Still in first. Aiden Malaskic has got the benefit of the... Wow, there's a lot of overtakes happening. So we've got Domas Kvedraz that's being overtaken. Roberto Tutti through the inside. We've got Radu Alex. Richard Glez, George Given seem to be fighting. There's way too much going on. George Given up the inside, backs out. Oh no! Richard Glez goes a little bit wide. Everyone goes wide on that corner. Wellerman up into first. Weebick up into second. Dante's Papen down to third. As they all went a little bit wide through there. Nothing too serious. Dante can still win it. 43 minutes left to go. Guillermo Soro and Nikolai are fighting. Guillermo Soro goes up the inside through Nikolai, as I'm guessing Nikolai went off. Hitchum Pozo in 17th. It's looking very close in the front of the grid, as Dante's Papen seems to have a little bit of a rough exit through there. Manages to keep it in third. Unfortunately, not the place where he wanted to be, especially at this moment in time. As Wellerman starts to get away a little bit, as Weebick and Dante's Papen go wide. Aiden Malaskic shortly following them. Dante's Papen up into second. Weebick has now got the power of Dante's. He was too far, I think, for a draft there. Jay and Coco seem to be fighting. As Supernova went a bit wide. Matthias Coco went a bit wide too. Ryan Cole and NSG Men are fighting. Domas Kvedaras and Radu Alex are fighting. Let's go to them in just a second. Roberto Tutti and Didier Duran. Mario Nikolai seem to have DNF'd. Oh, slide through there. Didier Duran seems to have a little bit of a speed deficit going through there. Guillermo, Radu Alex and Domas Kvedaras are fighting. Guillermo up the inside though. Nicely done by him. Goes a little bit wide through there. Let's see, half a second between Dante's Papen and Wellerman, as Wellerman goes up into first. I think has been first since the start. Dante going off of the inside, locks up a little bit, goes a bit wide. Goes a little bit slow through there as well. Wellerman. Dante's Papen fastest lap, 1:48.4. This could be interesting. With under 3 tenths between them. Dante's Papen has a run through Wellerman through that corner. As Dante gains, he has the benefit of his draft now. Can he go back up into first with half of the straight remaining? Unfortunately not, as Dante's braking point seems to be a little bit further than Wellerman's. As Dante's Papen tries to go up the inside. They have about the same speed. Dante's Papen is in draft distance of Wellerman. Darren Egan up into 9th, it seems. As Ryan Cole and Darren are fighting. Ryan Cole having the run on Darren as they go into the corner. Darren going up the inside of Ryan Cole, clipping him a little bit as Darren goes wide. Ryan Cole back up into 9th. Didier Duran up into 10th. Darren down to 12th. Darren back up into 11th as he goes past Guillermo Massaro, but Guillermo Massaro with the switchback. Guillermo Massaro now has to work his way through Didier Duran and Ryan Cole if he wants to make his way to the top 10, as there's contact! Didier Duran, Guillermo Massaro, and what looks to be Ryan Cole have been involved in contact. Roberto Tutti up into 7th as he passes NSG Men on the straight. As Darren with a little bit of a slide through there. Losing a bit of speed. Dante's Papen overtaking Wellerman on the big straight. This is going to be close. Who is going to make it? Dante up the inside. Can he keep it as he sticks to the inside of the corner? Wellerman slowly losing a bit of that. Oh no, he's gaining time. So there's 4 tenths between Dante and Wellerman. Can Dante keep it together? Or will they consistently be fighting? Dante clipping the curb a little bit through there. It's caused him to lose a little bit of time, but Wellerman's braking point seems to be a little bit further back from Dante's. Dante manages to go off the skin of his teeth with a little bit under 4 tenths between them. Half a second. As Wellerman gains severe time between them both. Wellerman braking a little bit late there, but still on Dante's tail. This is excellent racing. Dante going a little bit over too much of the curb there, as Weebick is on both of their tails. So Dante and Wellerman are going to have to watch out for Weebick, which is, you know, just half a second behind Wellerman. As Dante's back up into first in the 4th lap. Over 8 tenths between them now. So Wellerman has now lost the drafting distance to Dante. Darren Eade and Ryan Cole are fighting. Roberto Tutti, sorry, going past Guillaume Massaro. Let's see who else. So Hitcham and Domas Kvedaras seem to be fighting too. So, it seems that Wellerman has lost it a little bit as he's fighting with Weebick now. As Dante's Pepen goes a little bit ahead. Domas Kvedaras, Hitcham, Pozo fighting. Who's going to come out on top for P13? Extremely close. They've got to watch out for Radu Alex in front of them. As Radu Alex goes off, hits the wall. Domas Kvedaras tries to go for... Oh! Bit of contact between Hitcham and Domas there. So I think Domas was trying to go for a gap that didn't exist, which caused him to hit Hitcham. Matthias Coco overtaking Radu Alex as he hit the wall somehow. So Weebick still on Wellerman's tail as Dante's Pepen goes ahead by 1.5 seconds. So, Darren setting in a new PB, 150.9. So Guillaume Massaro goes up the inside of NSG Ben through that corner. As Guillaume Massaro gets away. Let's see how long that for. NS has a very aggressive braking point, so this should be interesting. Guillaume has made it throughout the grid as he locks up a little bit, goes a bit wide, loses a little bit of speed through there. But seems to be shaking off NSG men behind him. With 35 minutes to go. Let's see, George Given now in 4th. Seems to be for about 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds behind Weebick. P4 is a decent finish, but George, knowing George, he's going to go for a better finish as he locks up a little bit through there. As well as Richard Glez behind him. Richard Glez seems to also have locked up, gone a bit wider than George. As the gap between Dante Spepen and Wellerman seems to still be about a second. So, Dante with the car, looking good. Roberto Tutti and NSG men seem to be fighting again. NSG men down the inside. As Roberto is unable to perform the switchback that he would have liked. Roberto Tutti has a run on NS. He has his draft too. As NS G-Man goes a little bit wide, Roberto Tutti through the inside. Seems to have a run on NSG Men. Has he went off, unfortunately? See who else? Weebick and Wellerman seem to be getting involved in a little bit of a fight as Weebick tries to force a wrong move on Wellerman. As Weebick tries to go up the outside. He's unable to. He's in drafting distance from Wellerman. As he goes on Wellerman's tail there. So Weebick and Wellerman fighting is keeping them both busy as Dante goes further forward by almost 2 seconds now. And it seems that Weebick has hit the invisible bump in the road. That is so unfortunate. I wonder how many more times that's happened this race. As Guillermo Sara goes up the inside of Weebick. As Weebick has to ride the rumble strips there. Oh my goodness. I was not expecting that to happen. That was very strange. So that's put Weebick up to 6th now. Guillaume Massaro in 5th. As he has to catch Richard Glez and George Given now. Roberto Tutti up into 6th as Weebick goes up into 7th. I'm guessing Weebick has damage now. Yes, he has suspension damage from that. That's super unfortunate for him because he was doing really well. Have a look at the onboard now as he tries to fight that wheel. As he's got NSG Men on his tail. He has no choice but to let NSG Men go. As Weebick seems to be going to the pits to try and fix his suspension damage. Unsure of how long that's going to take. Unfortunate for him though. Supernova parked on the... Supernova has DNF'd. So Didier Duran goes up into 10th as Weebick is in the pits. So Weebick still has half an hour to make a difference. But the difference I think will be minimal, unfortunately. Does the same. Hitcham needs to be careful when going through there. So Guillermo Saro, I think, started at the back of the grid. Jay also DNFs. Unfortunate for Jay. As Weebick is now in last position due to that suspension damage, which he's gone to repair. However, he is back on track and ready to go again with fresh tyres and determination on his face. Let's see this. So George Given is now up in 3rd. Just for about 4 seconds behind Wellerman, as Weebick unfortunately hits the invisible bump of doom in the road. Which is a severe downside of doing this at this track. So you can actually see where the track causes you to have those issues, and it's actually marked. Because when people have gone over it, it's caused them to get tyre marks. Anyway, we see George Given still in 3rd. Wellerman gaining on Dante's Pepen ever so slightly. As Dante is still flying ahead. Still flying ahead with the
me.
car, and seems to be trying to do so for the next 27 minutes. Goes a little bit wide through there. Nothing too severely bad on his race time though. So, still in first by over 2.5 seconds. Well, I mean, this seems to be catching a little bit. Guillermo Sara PB 148.8. Oopsies, I moved the... That's okay. So, Dante Spapen seems to be having, you know, no issue getting away at all. Ryan Cole setting a new PB. Let's see where he is. He's currently in 8th. As he goes past Darren ever so slightly. Close. Too close for comfort, it seems. As Ryan goes to avoid the bump. Darren going at the inside of the bump. Radu Alex setting a new PB. As Darren goes through the inside. Locks up. What a move by Darren. Kind of brute forced his way through there, but... Ryan Cole trying to go through the inside. Seems like he's going to be able to do it. Didier Drouin on his left. Ryan... oh no, Darren and Didier Drouin have contact. So that's the second severe bit of contact we've had. Which puts Ryan Cole forward, Didier Drouin in 10th, and Darren Egan in 9th. Very interesting indeed. So Didier Drouin goes down into 10th again as he goes a little bit wide. Darren Egan in 9th. As he's catching up slowly with Ryan Cole. See, Guillermo Sara is catching up Richard Glaze. It should be very, 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 very interesting. Richard Glaze is doing an excellent job this race in maintaining the position he's in, if not gaining places. Which will look good for his rating and on the standings. So Darren Egan and Didier Drouin seem to be fighting still. Ryan Cole in 8th. So Darren Egan is still fighting Didier Drouin. A lot of contact. Sorry, not a lot. A lot of fighting going on. Not had too much contact, which is always good to see, especially in a race like this where one little bit of a mistake can cause you the entire race. Didier Drouin down the inside. As Darren tries to follow that up by going deep into that corner. Didier Drouin going a little bit wide. Guillermo Sara has overtaken Richard Glaze on the big straight. Sorry, the start straight. Two Spaniards going at it. As Richard Glaze goes a little bit. So he manages to keep that 4th position. Unsure of how strong the side drafts on these cars are. But Guillermo Sara is now... Excellent bit of fighting there. As Richard Glez goes back up into 4th. As they seem to have different lines when going into these corners. Roberto Tutti going off, unfortunately. Giving a chance for NS Chimen to catch up. As NS Chimen's right on his tail. Guillermo Sara overtakes Richard Glez once again. As Richard Glez very much sits on his tail. Very exciting battling going on. So, mostly very close. So it seems like Guillermo Sara has done a good enough job of overtaking Richard Glez there. So let's see the intervals here. So we can have a look at the age of everyone's tyres. As Weebick has unfortunately also DNF'd. When did that happen? Oh my goodness, what's that going on? What's going on there? There we are. So we go intervals. Very unfortunate for Weebick. Weebick's doing so well. Aiden Malaskic, 13th still. As he goes off a little bit, becomes a lawnmower. As we see Hitcham and Didier Duran. As Hitcham is catching, Hitcham, sorry. Oh. As Hitcham is catching up Didier Duran. George Given setting a new PB. See, as Chimen sets a PB, as Richard Glez is still behind Guillermo Sara by almost 2 seconds. As that time continues to go down a little bit. So, Darren seems to be catching Hitcham up. Darren watching his time slowly go down as he is on Hitcham's tail by not much. As Hitcham goes wide, Darren down the inside. As Hitcham tries to go for the switchback but is unable to follow it up. So Tomas Kvedoras, Aiden Malaskic just crashed. Oh no. Where is Aiden going? Anyhow, Didier Duran. So Aiden is he's going under the map. He's had enough of today. So Dante Spapen still leading by almost, actually, 5 seconds. So Hitchum and Darren are fighting. Hitchum goes a little bit wide. Hitchum goes off. Hitchum disconnects for some reason as Darren goes through. And Matthias Coco too. So that's the 5th DNF we've had this race. Apologies. It seems that Matthias Coco and Darren spun out or got hit. That's unfortunate. Darren up into 11th now. Guillaume Musara and Richard Glez. So Richard Glez has gone up the inside of Guillaume Musara as he's hit the invisible part of the track, I think.
Good luck for the rest of the race, people.
Oh, Aiden Malaskic is disconnected. Hitchum is disconnected. Guillaume Musaro has disconnected. So that leaves 13 drivers still on the grid. Wow, okay. 12, actually. It's Ryan Cole and Didier Drouin. So Matthias Coco goes up into 9th. Darren Egan goes up into 9th. Has a little bit of a battle with Matthias. As Matthias is on Darren's tail. Unsure of what's going on there. Let's see how it comes out on top. So, Matthias Coco, oh, a little bit of contact there. Matthias Coco accidentally touched the side of Darren, which would leave Matthias Coco to be back up into 10th. Darren Egan up into 9th. With not much of a gap between Didier Drouin and Ryan Cole, as they seem to be fighting once again. Ryan Cole seems to having a little bit much of a deeper line through there as Didier Drouin is on his tail. Ryan Cole blocking the outside as Ryan Cole, they both go wide as Matthias Coco and Darren seem to be fighting again. Okay, so it seems like, yeah, very close. Oh my goodness! As we have another victim of the invisible bump in the road, as Matthias Coco goes through. That's unfortunate. So we've got Roberto Tutti on NSG Mensdale. Still quite a way to go yet. Roberto Tutti, oh my goodness, as he goes a little bit, I think he forgot to brake. As I was gonna say, Roberto Tutti was gaining. So Didier Drouin finally overtaking Ryan Cole. As Ryan Cole and Didier Drouin, the fight seems to be postponed for a little bit as Ryan Cole goes way too wide through there. So, wow, okay. George Given. Let's have a look. There we are. Okay, much better. So George Given up into third now, as Wellerman is still 4.8 seconds behind Dante Spapen. As Dante still keeps doing a decent job of making the gap a little bit further. So 5 seconds between them now. So let's see at the positions. So Dante Spapen has stayed first all race. Wellerman has gone up 2 positions. George Given has gone up 4. Roberto Tutti has gone up 7. And Darren has gone up 8. So I believe Darren started at the back of the pack and has made his way up into the top 10. And after unfortunately meeting his end with the invisible barrier on the track. The invisible bump on the track. Darren edging up into 10th now as Radu Alex and Darren seem to be fighting. Matthias Coco, someone stop, all on the same tyres as they started with. Darren and Radu Alex. Darren had a run on Radu Alex on the straight, which is excellent for oh no, Andy does it again! That's the second time Darren has done that this race. If not the third. I think it's the second. As Darren goes... Wow, okay. That was a little bit too close to comfort, if you ask me. I think that may have been... Yeah, so there he goes. So he hits it. And I don't think he tries braking after that. Yeah, so he tries to hit Radu Alex. I think, unless he keep going... Oh, his pedal broke. I think his pedal broke. That's unfortunate for Darren, as that will put him up into 12th. Random Alex up into the top 10. See, Matthias Goko is doing good. George Given slowly gaining on Wellerman. Can George do it? Can he lose? You know, can Wellerman... Oh, wow, okay, it's a lot closer than we thought it was. Oh, Darren DNF'd. Unfortunate for him. That's the 6th DNF I think we've had this race. Very unfortunate. I think his pedal broke. So, George Given, wow, okay, he's gaining now. George Given is gaining, you know, tripping away at that time as he catches up to Wellerman, which now has to deal with Domas Kvedermas, the first lapped car of the race. So Wellerman will have that issue of trying to get past Domas as they go into one of the trickiest corners on the track. As George Given catches up to Wellerman, less than under a second between them. George Given, he continues to... Oh, and he goes past Domas Kvederas, so there's no excuses anymore. So George Given is getting closer. So Wellerman's going to feel a little bit of pressure on him, knowing that he has George Given behind him. Can he keep it together, or will he concede his second position to George Given? Let's find out. Has a little bit of a strange exit through there. George Given seems to have a little bit of a run on Wellerman. Yep, as George Given, he tries to go on the outside. Is he going to go for a switchback? Let's see. So George Given is going to go down the inside of Wellerman. I think he went a little bit too far to the right. He tries to avoid that there. They both seem to avoid. Dante Spapen disconnected from the server. What happened? And there's a little bit of contact between Wellerman and George as George goes down the inside. Dante Spapen, our race leader, has just disconnected. What has happened with Dante Spapen? Why has he disconnected all of a sudden? So that now makes George Given, in fact, Wellerman. So Wellerman and George Given are still fighting. George Given goes a little bit wide. Wellerman goes down, still keeps going. So Radu Alex is a second lap car, I believe. As as Wellerman keeps George at bay for these final 3 minutes. Wellerman keeping it together. George Given, he's going to try his luck down the inside. Is he going to do it? A little bit more. Is George Given going to go down the inside? No, he's not. He doesn't have enough speed to follow it through. Wellerman still in first. We still have a few corners of this lap. So George Given is going to go on the outside. I think he's going to try and perform another switchback on Wellerman. Let's see. Is it going to be successful? Or is it going to be another one of those times where he has to go behind Wellerman to gain some speed? They are side by side going down the straight. As George Given has the inside line. George Given goes up into first. But Wellerman is still side by side with George Given. Is there going to be enough for Wellerman to be able to try and fight that? Let's see. George Given, he's got the outside line this time. Wellerman goes down the inside, forces his way through, locks up a little bit, goes wide. George Given down the inside again. As he keeps first place to himself. Now, Wellerman is still alongside George Given there. He committed, I think, a little bit too much down that inside. But now Wellerman has the inside line. Is he going to be able to do it through here? Yes, he is. But how long is that going to last? Wellerman still in first. George Given tries to force a mistake on Wellerman, as it doesn't work. So, hold on. Wellerman and George seem to still be in drafting distance. Yes, he is. So George is gaining on Wellerman. Wellerman had is a little bit slower through there. George Given down the inside once again as Wellerman goes a little bit wide. George Given maintains the inside line. NS2 and DNF'd. Unfortunate. That's over half of the grid DNF'd this race. However, George Given is now our race leader. How long is that going to last? Wellerman tries to force a mistake with George. Wellerman has the inside line. Forces George a little bit wide, a little bit of contact. As Wellerman manages to go up through and past George on the big straight. This might be the last lap. If George is going to make a move, he's going to have to do it now. They both go wide on turn 1. Wellerman is gaining from George, so this might be it. So there's over a second between them now. Wellerman might just be lucky enough to get this. But there's still a whole entire lap, meaning that anything can happen between now and the finish line. So George Given and Wellerman seem to have been fighting for the past 2 or 3 laps. I think the pressure got a little bit to George, though, as George seems to have lost it on the T1 of that last lap. As this is the final lap of the race, is George going to be able to make up half a second in the last few corners? And who is going to be crowned race winner? Well, let's find out. As George has a little bit of a run through there. I don't think so, actually. I think Wellerman has managed to get away from George. Under half a second between them both now. Over half a second. No, they're under. So George is carrying a little bit more speed through there. There's one corner. Oh, sorry, 2 corners. Oh, no, I think there is one. There's one corner. So if George is going to have to make a move, he's going to do it here. I don't think he's close enough, though. As Wellerman... Oh, no, let's see. On the final straight, neck and neck, George Given has won the CHR race by thousandths of a second. Has kept it together till the end and made his move on that final corner, which gave him the win. Incredible racing from George and Wellerman there. That was something else, I think. I don't think we've ever seen something like that in OAC ever. And George, he's done it. Having a little bit of a celebration. Excellent racing from George and everyone else. Unfortunate for Dante's Papen disconnecting. Roberto Tutti in 4th. Didier Drouin, let's see, in 5th. Ryan Cole coming now in 6th position. As we welcome our final drivers. Radu Alex is disconnected. Let's see. Matthias Coco in 9th. I think he'll be in 7th though, I think. Yeah. As Tomas Kveras is still making... Oh no, he's... I think he's got 9th. Matthias Coco in 7th, I think. And who's that? What a race, though. as we see our drivers here. We will do interviews this race. Just this race, however. As I must go prepare those. Give me a moment and enjoy some Gran Turismo music as I set up the interviews channel. See you. Okay, I think you can hear me on the stream. Right, let me unmute on Discord. Okay, so if you can hear me, just tell me in the chat. Okay, great. Let me just quickly sort this out. Make sure you can hear me on the stream as well. I think you can, though. Yeah, okay, nice. Alright, so let's start with these interviews. I do want to keep it short and sweet. Because it gets boring after a while. But let's get... Okay, who wants to come up first? So let's get Darren up first. He's eager to speak. Darren, if you want to come up. Okay. Yep. Right.
Hello.
Hello, Darren. One sec. Let me just sort this out. So, okay. Speak again. Just want to make sure the stream can hear you. Okay, yeah, that's good enough. All right, so how was your race, apart from your pedal disconnecting?
Apart from that, it went well. Started second to last on the grid. Very good start. Clean turn lap 1 for some reason. Very weird. Then made it up to P10. P8, then me and Guy had a little battle because I got bored. Then you saw what happened. I hit the pothole. So
yeah, you
I
hit
went
it
down
like,
to P11.
I think you hit it like 2 or 3 times, yeah. So it's a little bit.
3 times is correct. I hit it again. Then went down P12. So I was battling with Alex, as you saw, and then my the USB disconnected from my laptop for some reason, and yeah,
That's
went
unfortunate.
straight into the wall.
But you fought quite well for the the duration you did, and I think that's that contributes to something, obviously. But you did a really good job in that, obviously. Yeah, I mean,
At least I started the race.
yeah, at least you started, and you started, and you made it through most of the pack before the unfortunate happened. But yeah, I mean, at least you didn't go into the ground this time.
Yeah, at least I didn't actually go into a ground like Aiden,
Yeah.
which we saw.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was. Yeah, I mean, he flew into the air. Yeah, but I mean, you did excellent, and next time you're gonna do better.
Hopefully I'll start the race next time.
Yeah.
As long as
Yeah.
I'm finished, I'll be happy.
Just make sure somehow make sure your pedal doesn't disconnect again, or your wheel doesn't disconnect.
Yeah, I need to I need to fix the USB. It keeps on. It's fried at this point.
Okay. Well, that was a nice word from you. Do you have anything else to say?
George, please be faster. I know you won, but please be faster.
Okay. All right. Well.
And wait, what's his name? Domas is the goat. Domas is the goat. Remember that. Remember that.
Yep, I remember that. Okay. So thank you for your words. Let's get someone else up. Yep. Okay. Let's get Coco up. Hello, Coco. How was your race?
Apart from the sudden technical issue, yeah, I had to pit. Sadly, I had technical issues because my shifter disconnected from the wheel. I had to reconnect it, and while I did that, it shifted into first gear.
Ah, wonderful. So that was.
So I started up.
Okay.
But I didn't have much hopes today, and I did better than I expected. So
yeah, you did quite good. Better than some people. I mean, the Dante decided that his game didn't want to do it game anymore, and unfortunately crashed, I think. So yeah, I mean, you did better. You actually finished the race, which is an accomplishment. But
yes, actually, especially because I didn't race from like times of ACSL season number 3, I think. Yeah, that's when I stopped racing.
It's been a while.
It's my first race in a while, and I'm actually so happy that I came back. Amazing people, amazing race.
Yeah, well, thank you for participating. It was lovely having you here. Hopefully, will we see you in the future?
Yes, I want to come back for good.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, well, apart from that, anything else you want to say?
Yes, actually. Shout out to lovely. Wait, I need to find it. I had this. Sorry. Shout out to Domas for creating my livery. It was fire.
Yeah, the yellow one.
And yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you. And big shout out. Wait. Big shout out to Darren for this amazing racing and clean overtakes.
That's good. Okay, well, it was lovely having you here. Hopefully we'll see you in the future, as you said. But, yeah. Let's get someone else up now. See you next week, or whenever. Okay. Right, let's get our race winner up. I think our race winner up, George Given. I think it just did I invite him? George, I invited you twice. See if you can come up to the stage. Okay, hello, George.
Hello.
So, how was your race? That last lap was amazing.
It was it was fun. P8 to P1, or actually P2. Dante deserves P1. His disconnection, I think he deserves P1 because the gap between Wellerman and him during the whole race, he was so far ahead, and then unfortunate disconnection. So I think he deserves the win here. We should get the P1 reinstated for him. But annoying thing, Darren and Ryan. Ryan screaming every time he got an overtake or got tapped, and then Darren just playing songs down the mic when he crashed, and playing the ukulele. But yeah.
Okay, well, that's interesting. You had a lot noisier time than I did, streaming the race. But apart from that, is there anything else special you want to say? Any shout outs to anyone?
Not particularly. I mean, it's a fun race anyway, so I don't mind if I get P2 or anywhere behind. But that's it, I think.
Yeah, okay, we'll have to see if we can, we have to see if we can get him P1 back. I don't know if it'll be possible, but we'll have to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, great racing from you again. Another week. Yeah. No, keep doing it, and love having you in this league.
Right,
It's
thank you.
very competitive. You're welcome. We'll see you next week, hopefully.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I can race that next week actually,
Alright.
because the race is on my birthday.
Oh, okay. Well, happy birthday for
What?
next week. And
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
Alright, let's get Ryan Cole up next. He's trying to make me laugh in the Discord chat. He's not doing a very good job. Hello, Ryan.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Okay, how was your race?
It was alright. I came from P16 to P6, which was probably the best improvements I've made in a race.
Yeah, you did. I mean, you were fighting quite a lot in that race, so it was nice to see
Yeah.
you, up there a bit and getting involved in a bit of the fighting. So that was good from you. Yeah, I mean, I think you did the most you could. I believe you can do better, but you did the most you could for this race. The cars were a little,
Yes.
they were a little bit too much. I agree, they were a little bit too understeery, but
I kept hitting the pothole a lot.
I saw there was a lot more people that had that issue. I think Darren hit about 2 or 3 times. So yeah, I mean, apart from that, you had a decent race, and yeah, next week you try and come back better.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, that's good. That's what I want to hear. Okay, well, anything else you want to say before we get Domas up for the final interview? Unless Didier Duran
Except
wants to come
for
up.
thanks my dad for watching and my grandparents for watching.
Oh, well, that's nice. That was you're very welcome. For having the stream. I do love doing this, but sometimes my throat doesn't want to cooperate. Anyway, lovely having you racing. Lovely having you up here in the interviews. Thank you, and obviously next week. Will you see you next week or?
Yes, definitely.
Lovely. Okay. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Okay, so Domas, final interview, unless anyone else wants to have a little word. Hello. How was your race?
So hello. My race was terrible. I started almost last. Somehow got to P9 because people crashed a lot. So I guess it was a good race. Thank you for Coco for support for wearing my livery I designed, and thank you for Darren for being so good in the race. Okay, I need to go now. Sorry.
All right. Well, it's fun having you here. Okay. Are you still trying to make me laugh? That's not really helping me, but I don't know. I think that was it for today's liveries. For today's interviews. It's lovely having you here. Yeah, I mean, thank you all for participating, albeit disconnecting. Most of you, I think half of the drivers disconnected. Anyway, lovely having you here. Lovely having you in the interviews. It's not working. I think you should stop now. Anyway, thank you for another race, a good race, and we'll see you next week for some action at Dragon Trail Raceway. Okay. See you all next week.